Hello, once more from Myrtle Beach. I'm Jack Murphy, along with freaking
sweet daddy
Deacon
That's right.
Dawson. Just jump right in there, man, sweet daddy.
That's
Just
right.
don't even let me finish.
No, this is, you and I are partners. I've got to do my part, you do your part. Now, tonight, of course, you're doing your thing here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did step on you here. This
Yeah,
is
just a
your
little bit.
show.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
get back to
sorry.
the groove
Yeah,
of things with our River
Yeah.
Talk 2.0 show, which is a local morning talk show that airs on the CW. We brought you on board back in August.
It's been great ever
tweak
since.
things up. Yeah, it's been
That's
really
fantastic.
cool. I've had a lot of fun.
Well, it gives you time to go to the restroom, stuff like that.
Really?
You know, yeah. Well,
Can't recall ever doing that during that hour.
Well, for 20 years, you were not unable to get away. I am your savior, pal. I've been there for you.
All right, you are? Okay.
I'm the man.
Well, good. I plan on taking some time off in 2020.
Well,
We'll
good.
just leave you holding the bag.
Don't do it.
You can do it.
Don't do it.
You know, you've been here a long time. A lot of people associate, because of the old radio station KZQ connection,
Right.
that I was here back in the early 80s. And I was like going, okay, I know where I was. I was still in high school then. When people are thinking that I was on the radio, because I came in and replaced you
Right.
over at the radio station.
I'm the old man. Yeah,
But you've been in Myrtle Beach since the 60s.
I got here in 1968, the night I graduated high school.
How about that?
Huntington High School, Huntington, West Virginia. Pony Express. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I've been here ever since. It's just I could not afford a bus ticket home, so I like it.
So that's a good thing. You saw there was a lot of landmarks that aren't here, and I guess every community goes through that, changes, renovations, and whatnot. But you kind of captured some of the old Myrtle Beach in pen and ink and some of your artwork.
I really have. I'm a pen and ink artist, and of course I love to get into the old Myrtle Beach. You know, and I did my show from the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. Of course, I etched that out. I've done probably about 18 different drawings from the Bowery, where Alabama got started,
Right, yeah.
to most all the pavilions up and down the Grand Strand, and of course the old Ocean Forest Hotel. You know, that place was around for it's the biggest hotel between New York City and Miami at one time, and they took it down back in September the 13th on a Friday the 13th back in 1974. I was there when they took it down. So
Wow.
what I want to do is I catch the artwork. I do it in pen and ink. I sell them at a local
I was 9 years
area.
old when they took that down.
That's too bad, Jack. You missed it.
I know I missed it. And you know, a lot of people look at your drawings and they're like going, it's red. I remember it being white. And I says, I'm pretty certain that the brick was painted.
It was painted. It was white at one time, but I did the brick version. The white didn't look. I want to do it in color.
Yeah, sure.
You know how it is. So anyway,
What are some of the other landmarks? I know, like
Beach Club, the old
Yeah,
Beach,
the Beach Club
where
was
they
one,
brought
yeah.
in all the major acts back in the 60s and 70s. It closed down in the right around the mid 70s. I'm talking about all the major acts back at that time,
yeah,
before Myrtle
sure.
Beach became the icon it is today. You know, Jerry Butler, the Impressions, the Temptations, Tams, all the old beach groups. I mean,
Right.
if you're a beach music freak, well, then that's where they played. It was right there for Cecil Corbett and Charlie Corbett back in the good old days.
Well, once upon a time, not in here at this location, because this has been refab, but the Rolling Stones played here in, 78?
Yeah, they played right here. Isn't that crazy? 2,000-seat auditorium back then. They've expanded this since 1978. But back then, it was they came to town. Cecil Corbett brought them in. They had a couple of days off, and he said, "Hey, man," said, "do me a favor. Could you play the Myrtle Beach Pavilion?" And so, play the right here at the convention center. And they said, "Well, I guess we could." So as a favor, he stuck them up
Sure.
for 3 days. And of course, that was big time. That was major, and I got to announce it on the radio. I had the privilege of announcing one of the greatest
cool.
concerts to ever come on the Grand
that's
Strand.
great. Yeah.
That was
Of course,
something.
we've got some great venues, obviously, the Carolina Opry, Alabama Theater, House
Right.
of Blues for the more current acts that roll through, and,
Oh, yeah.
and then both of the theaters that I just mentioned bring in some big name talents for limited engagements. So
They do.
We got you entertainment. We got a lot of shopping. We got a lot of dining. You know I love to eat. I'm getting ready to eat for the 4th time today.
Oh yeah, how many? Probably over a couple of thousand, maybe 3,000 restaurants here. So
Sure.
if you're hungry, There's no excuse not to
I
eat
think
here.
we're right up there with San Francisco per capita in the number of restaurants.
I would think so.
It's
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
I would
So
think
anything
Yeah.
for your palate. And golf, if you love golf, we got you covered there.
Listen.
We got Ripley's Aquarium.
Hey, listen, this is the retirement area now, by the way.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody and their brother, instead of just coming here for the summer, are going to come down here. Once they get a little shot of this in the arm, they're going to go back, sell their home, and move to Myrtle Beach. You can probably get a place down here a lot cheaper than the folks up north. That's what I've been hearing anyway. People in New England. They can buy a house, they can sell their house, and for what they sell it for up there, get 2 houses down here. That's not bad.
Well, sure.
Buy one, get one free.
And because tourism is like the main engine for the Grand Strand, Myrtle Beach did this thing a while back that residents that live inside the city benefit, and so our property taxes have, now we're going to have a big flood. Our property taxes inside the city limits of Myrtle Beach, which I live, are reduced quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I tell people what my property taxes are a year on my house, they're flabbergasted.
Oh, sure.
They're just absolutely flabbergasted. So it's just another, which explains all the construction in Myrtle Beach proper now.
It's paradise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's paradise to your wallet
Plus,
down
we
here.
got great infrastructure once you get here. I know everybody talks about there's no interstate highway, but once you get here, we got the infrastructure with 3122, so we have people that are moving out into the big county. And the county in which Myrtle Beach is in is the size of Rhode Island and ranks up there as like one of the biggest counties this side of the Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the whole county yet?
No. No, I've never been in the entire county.
Oh.
This is the largest county around,
Oh.
so no, I have. But
let's take a day, and I don't mean this in a weird sort of way. I'd like to take you out to the woods. That's all the time.
but remember, 50 miles of Grand Strand. I'm not going to the woods with this
that's
guy.
right, yeah.
Are you
Now,
kidding?
now. Anyway,
Oh,
we'll
my
be back
God.
with more basketball. Visit myrtlebeach.com. Get you all the details. Love you, brother. I really do. I'll put my hand here. We'll be right back.
My family keeps me on the go. And as fellow community members, HTC believes friends and neighbors deserve services that keep the day running smoothly. No matter where life takes me, HTC keeps me connected by providing world-class technology to Horry and Georgetown counties. Because you are here, and so are we. HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
Back inside the Lambeau Schwartz Arena at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, it is Championship Day of the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic in beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Tyler Watkins and Kevin Schneider now courtside for the third place game coming up of the Beach Ball Classic. But what a game we just had as Poly defeated Coronado. Final score 93-60. Kevin Poly, an impressive team. They came in. A lot of us announcers didn't know a lot about them, hadn't seen a lot of tape and didn't have a lot of information, and they came in, picked up that very first win and put on a show. And became something here at the Beach Ball Classic, and they've got a lot of athletes.
Yeah, they come in 3-time state champions in Maryland, and they're an experienced team. We knew about Justin Lewis.
Right.
We knew Raheem Ali could run the show, but Brandon Murray has been the breakout player here at the Beach Ball Classic. Picked up his first offer last night, courtesy of North Texas. Sat courtside with them, and I kept saying, hey, you can offer tonight. Tonight's the night. You can offer tonight. And sure enough, saw it come through the social media last night. Super happy for Brandon Murray. Sam, Brandon, and I would talk. We've been longtime friends, and it was like, when is that time going to come? What else does he have to do?
Right.
He just put up another 25-point performance. Mike Young of Virginia Tech was sitting courtside checking out the action. So don't be surprised to see Brandon Murray's recruitment blow up from here at the Beach Ball.
We talked about this before. We've seen it with numerous players, including Raymond Felton is the biggest one that comes to mind. But you mentioned this, I know, first or second day to me that Brandon Murray was going to be the guy that was going to shine during the Beach Ball Classic. And Kevin, you know so much about these teams and so much about these players. You must put in hours and hours of research.
You know, with Brandon Murray, for instance, he played in our Big Shots Atlanta event in March. And I was wondering, who is this player? He was the breakout player at our event in March. Some player that I had been promoting all year long, and it's great to see him shine and in the brightest moments here at the Beach Ball Classic and get an offer like that. You know, I always tell people the first time you get that first offer, people think you just automatically put it on social media, but it's very emotional because all the work you put in for that moment to get that type of education paid for with scholarship is special. And so Brandon Murray had that, and we have another player coming up later this evening, Justin Amati, who is super hot as well, picked up offers from Charleston Southern, North Texas. Coastal was in here recruiting him heavily. So Justin Amati is the other breakout player here at the Beach Ball Classic.
Kevin, I was going to ask you, you've watched nearly every one of these games. You know these players personally in a lot of cases and the coaches for sure. But who are some of the other names that you've seen throughout this tournament that have really shined for you?
Jaden Hardy's been special. He's the number
has.
one shooting guard in the country in 2021, and he plays the game like a pro. Adam Miller had 52 points today. He's headed to Illinois. Brad Underwood was in here, the head coach at Illinois, and he's got to be super excited about his backcourt. Andre Corbello put up a near triple-double, 25 points, 19 rebounds, 9 assists, one of the best stat lines maybe ever in the Beach Ball Classic. It's been loaded with talent, and it's going to be really hard putting together this all-tournament team. As we're looking at the names on the list, you know, DeJuan Odom's another player out of who's signed with Xavier, who will be playing next for St. Francis. It's going to be tough to limit that down to 10 players.
Kevin, while we have a moment, I want you to talk a little bit about Big Shots basketball. And tell me about the organization. You have an event coming up in July here in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, we run over 60 events nationally in 27 different cities, but this is our baby, Myrtle Beach. Started with 19 teams in that first event. We had John Wall, Kemba Walker, many of the top players that you may see on TV today. But it's been fun over the years. Now we have 216 players playing in the NBA right now, in the NBA and in the G League. And, you know, you see players like a Chris Middleton, a Karl Anthony Towns. They blew up here in Myrtle Beach at Big Shot. So it's been fun. In Myrtle Beach, we'll be here in July 8th through the 12th. It's an NCAA certified event. Over 200 college coaches attend annually. And we'll have over 400 teams. So it's a fun time to come to the beach. Many of these players play here. Then they come back again in July. And it's a great time to come to Myrtle Beach, as is, you know, the fall season. So the dates again for the Myrtle Beach event? July 8th through the 12th. We have an All-American camp for 14 through 17, and we've had players like Kyle Kuzma, who's now with the Lakers, come in, or Patrick McCaw, who's won 2 NBA World Championships. They played in the All-American camp, and then it leads into our 4-day basketball tournament. Kevin, how do they find out more about Big Shots basketball? Go to bigshots.net and also follow us on Big Shots Nation on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. We'll be posting recruiting coverage and event updates throughout the year. All right, thank you, Kevin. We'll be back in just a moment. We have the matchup of the St. Francis Knights out of Milton, Georgia versus the Long Island Crusaders. It is the third-place game of the Beach Ball Classic coming up in just a few moments right here courtside inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. This is the Beach Ball Classic.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
The 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina has been a spectacular event to this point. Inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center in beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the third place game is coming up, featuring the St. Francis Knights out of Milton, Georgia, and the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders out of Brookville, New York. It is going to be a battle. I'm Tyler Watkins along with Kevin Schneider. And Kevin, we've seen both of these teams play. Super talented, skilled players on both teams and a lot of Division I prospects.
Yeah, Andre Curbelo leads the way for Lehigh, comes in as one of the hottest point guards in the country. Didn't have his best performance last night, but he looks to bounce back today, and he's facing a tough test going against another fellow four-star in DeJuan Odom, who's headed to Xavier, and he was electric. Had 30 points, 10 assists, but it was in a loss against Dorman. So they look to come back tonight. These two teams face off, and they're two of the nation's best in Lehigh out of New York versus St. Francis out of Georgia.
Lehigh, the Long Island Lutherans, coached by head coach John Buck. They are 8-2 on the season. St. Francis Knights, led by Drew Catlett, 12-2 on the season. And we may talk about the experience and the skill of the players on the team, but the experience and skill of these coaches, they are some of the most knowledgeable people that I've ever met in basketball about the X's and the O's and living and breathing basketball. As much as I am a surfer and have done it for 30 years, these guys live basketball. That's what they know. Coaches, and excellent ones at that.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Catlett, his uncle was Gail Catlett, Hall of Fame, legendary coach at West Virginia, and former Division I coach, known Drew a long time, and he's done an outstanding job, state champions in Georgia for St. Francis. And then Coach Buck has built a powerhouse program in Lehigh very quickly, and they're looking to repeat as New York State champs.
Well, we talked about this many times, and you've got the stat, but both of these teams came in expecting to play for the championship today, but they'll play for the third-place team. But everybody that comes to the Beach Ball Classic, Kevin, expects to play for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, for this year's event, there's 8 teams that came in number 1 ranked in their respective states. So to come here, you're expecting to win. There's some teams that left 1 and 3 that need to regroup. There's other teams like Baltimore Poly that took an L early, but they're looking to go repeat as a 4-time champion in Maryland. And these two teams, obviously, they're looking to play deep into March, with the talent they have.
So we're going to bring you the play-by-play action of the third-place game at St. Francis Knights and the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders. But, Kevin, as we have some time before tip-off, wanted to ask you about some of these players in the tournament that might potentially make that all-tournament team. You've got the list.
Yeah, it's a talented list. We'll start with Jaden Hardy. Comes in as the number 1 shooting guard in the 2021 class. He's been electric, had a 41-point outing. Justin Lewis, he's headed to Marquette Another player that's been super impressive, been one of the top bigs, if not the best in the tournament. Brandon Murray, the breakout performer. He and Justin Amati have to be on the list. Justin Amati had 24 points last night in a win, and they're hot. College coaches are coming in to see them. Dorman's two stars that have always been consistent. You got to start with Miles Tate, the point guard, 3-time state champ, headed to Butler, and the big fella inside, P.J. Hall. Fought through sickness last night, but played big as always in big games for Dorman. He's headed to Clemson. Zed Key's been dominant inside. He's headed to Ohio State.
And we'll see him in just
we'll
a few moments.
We'll see him shortly. And for St. John's, I thought Amani Hansberry, the freshman, has been the top 2023 prospect. He's the top big in D.C. Look for him to be heavily recruited. I know Virginia Tech's in to see him. They've already offered Rhode Island as well.
I love Hansberry. I think he plays so well inside and out, but he really the physicality of him. And Hansberry is I believe is he a freshman?
Freshman.
Yeah.
Freshman
so,
big and
going to be very good.
Very good, and he's got great touch around the rim. It was a fun matchup we had last night calling the game together. He and Zed Key going at it.
Yeah.
Ish Leggett from St. John's had the hot hand in the game last night, hit 2 threes that were crucial in the second half that really got St. John's going, changed momentum, and a big win for them.
You know what I love about Leggett is he's so tough on the court. He's a gritty basketball player.
Yep.
The ball goes to the court, and he's diving on it or diving after it, sticks his hand in everything. Ish Leggett, to me, seems like a very well-rounded basketball player.
And he's found a great fit in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
They have that in Fatch Russell now and expect that from Ish Leggett when he gets there. You know, Dewan Odom, who you'll see here shortly, he won the slam dunk contest, jumped over 2 guys. He's had several highlights, even hitting a 3-quarter court shot to end the half. Dewan Odom's a 4-star top 60 player in the nation, headed to Xavier.
And Dewan Odom, of course, last night went out and had ice on the knee. He banged kneecaps with one of the opposing players, but spoke to his coach just a little while ago and said he was feeling fine and he was in the shoot-around and shouldn't be a problem at all. He was going to play.
Yeah, man, he's the top guard out of Georgia. And we go straight to West Virginia's finest point guard in Caden Matheny. He's a player that you will hear from in years to come that makes a run at Bowling Green and is the Cinderella of the Sweet 16 caliber team led by Caden Matheny. He averaged 29 points a game, led the tournament scoring until Adam Miller went off for 52 today. But Caden Matheny had 13 and 13 this morning. Super player. And then you got superstars to end it. You got DJ Stewart or Whitney Young headed to Duke. Adam Miller had 52 today, and Andre Curbelo, who we will see next, and he puts on a show. Maybe the best point guard playing off a ball screen and passing the rock as any in the country.
Kevin, thank you for all the research you do on this for this broadcast. I know you come in with so much information and can't share it all during the broadcast, but they can find out more at bigshots.net, I believe it is. Is it .com or .net?
You hit the net on the shot.
Bigshots.net. There you go. Well, St. Francis Knights and the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders are on the court warming up. It's going to be a third-place matchup here in the Beach Ball Classic, a New Year's Eve matchup, and these teams have come to town to really show what they have. And we'll have the broadcast for you coming up in just a moment. Get ready. It's the third-place matchup, St. Francis and Long Island Lutheran, when we return from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is the Beach Ball Classic.
My family keeps me on the go. And as fellow community members, HTC believes friends and neighbors deserve services that keep the day running smoothly. No matter where life takes me, HTC keeps me connected by providing world-class technology to Horry and Georgetown counties. Because you are here, and so are we. HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
Zone's not going to play. It's the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The third place game is coming up next. The St. Francis Knights out of Milton, Georgia will face the Long Island Lutheran Lehigh Crusaders out of Brookville, New York. Quick recap, St. Francis is 12-2 on the season, led by head coach Drew Catlett. Long Island Lutheran is led by John Buck, and they come in at 8-2 on the year. Buck in his 11th year at Lehigh. He's spent 3 as an assistant for Drew Catlett. This is his 10th year. His 6th year as a head coach. And these two programs, well coached. It's going to be a fantastic basketball game. Give us the rundown, Kevin.
It's going to be a guard battle. And if Zed Key can dominate in the paint, you have to favor Lehigh in this game. But DeJuan Odom, Jashawn Holt, top 100 junior for St. Francis, can really play. The sophomores, Hubbard and Brown, have really stepped up, really were crucial for them in their state title run last year, and they've really had great performances here and the wins that St. Francis has had. 2019
state champions, the St. Francis Knights are, and Seth Hubbard was really the guy that I thought was stepped up the most for St. Francis. He comes off the bench. We were told he can get hot, and the games I've done, he came off the bench and started firing threes and boom, 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 making them. I mean, this guy can change a game quick.
Yep, he has an effortless stroke, and he's a Division I prospect you'll be hearing from in the years to come. And then, obviously for Lehigh, everything runs through the point guard, Andre Curbelo. He gets everybody involved in the game. Love his feel. He has eyes in the back of his head almost, the way he passes the ball. And everything runs through him off of pick and roll action. And Zed Key has had some big games, had 28 and 15 in round 1. And look for him to really end on a high note. That's the Ohio State Buckeye commit, Zed Key.
Yeah, Zed Key, super impressive. A big body, too, and it gets physical underneath the basket. Doesn't have a problem with that. Of course, Long Island Lutheran also with Kasper Kloschek as well. And one of the players that won't be playing, though, of course, Jalen Celestine is injured, has not made an appearance here in the Beach Ball Classic, but Rafael Pinzone will not play as well for Long Island Lutheran today.
Yeah, Pinzone not in the lineup tonight, but I tell you, Jaden Reed really stepped up big for them last night, I thought, in the game against St. John's. Hit some timely shots, brought a lot of energy, and he's only a freshman. I've seen him on the circuit with the Wrens out in New York, and he really can shoot the ball and makes big plays. Only a freshman, but has stepped up, in crucial moments for Lehigh.
Well, Long Island Lutheran Crusaders, an interesting note, they played in the Iolani Classic in Hawaii several days ago, right before Christmas. They were home for 2 days and then right to Myrtle Beach. And Kevin, we talked about this last night, the toll that takes on you physically. And then 6 days of basketball here at the Beach Ball Classic. I'm exhausted. These guys must be really exhausted after running up and down a 94-foot court. Normally they'd play on an 84-foot high school length.
Yeah, and I've done that trip out to Hawaii, played out there basketball for 3 years, and I know it's a haul. It drains your body. It's a 6-hour time difference from the East Coast, and so that to me has been the adjustment. But look for them to bounce back again tonight and get back into the winning column. Lehigh taking on St. Francis next.
Well, let's throw it across the court for our PA announcer, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. It's Wally Berlingeri.
Once again, a warm welcome to all you basketball fans to the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic. Our 31st and next game is the game before the big championship. This game determines our third place finisher in the Beach Ball Classic and, of course, the fourth place. Let's meet our starting lineups. Starting with the visiting team, the St. Francis Knights from Alpharetta, Georgia, with a record of 13-2. Starting at the point guard spot, a 6'2 senior wearing number 1, DeJuan Odom. At the wing, a 6'2 junior wearing number 4, Jashawn Holt. At the power forward spot, a 6'2 junior wearing number 21, Kai Simmons. At point guard, a 6'2 sophomore wearing number 23, Jordan Brown. And at the wing, a 6'2 senior wearing number 24, Chase Ellis. The St. Francis Knights are coached by head coach Drew Catlett, assisted by Mike McCord and Daryl Armstrong. The St. Francis Knights team ambassadors, Laura, Tristan, and Ann Martin. And now the starting lineup for our home team, the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders from Brookville, New York, with a record of 8-2. At the guard slot, we're a 6'0" sophomore, 6-foot sophomore, wearing number 1, Hugo Bergstrom. At guard, a 6'1" senior, wearing number 11, Andre Curbelo. At forward, a 6'8" junior, wearing number 13, Drisa Traore. At forward, 6'8" senior, wearing number 21, Zed Key. And at forward, 6'8" junior, wearing number 23, Kasper Klashek. The Long Island Lutheran Crusaders are coached by head coach John Buck, assisted by, where's one of those cards go? Oops. Team ambassadors for the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders, Stuart and Shelley Pritchett. Our officials for this contest, Kenny Johnson, Joe Kerr, and Kyle Bukowski.
St. Francis has played in 6 of their last 7 state championships, winning 3 of them. Long Island Lutheran coming in as the number 9 ranked team in the country out of Brookville, New York. 8-2 on the season. It's a battle for 3rd place here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the Beach Ball Classic. Long Island Lutheran will send out Zed Key to jump it up against, looks like Kai Simmons. And Lehigh will control early. This is Andre Curbelo across the timeline, guarded by Dwan Odom. Kasper Kloshek inside for the big guy, Zed Key underneath.
And that's the high-low action Lehigh loves to go to. Zed Key did an outstanding job in sealing the Buckeyes finishing.
Dwan Odom quickly, and they swing it outside. 3-pointer on the way, in and out, rebound for Drisa Traore. Traore has offers from St. John's, Illinois, and UMass. Into the paint, outside, another 3 on the way, front of the iron, no good. Into the hands it falls of Chase Ellis. Another long 3. We've seen a lot of three-pointer shot attempts in this tournament. Kevin, is that a change in the way people look at basketball? Are we seeing more outside shots as time moves on with high school basketball?
You know, you can call it the Steph Curry theory, I guess. James Harden, they watch so many guys and they see him shooting threes. That's the thing to do nowadays. And most teams are a lot smaller, so it allows them the ability to stretch the floor. And there you see a tough shot there. Chase Ellis, he's a player that coaches, I'm really trying to push him Division II. He's a player that I think has won a state title already and can contribute at the next level. And there's Zed Key again.
The confidence Zed Key shows, he knows he can get to the basket. It's a matter of they've got to stop him from getting to the basket. And Zed Key will take it underneath all day long.
And this guy knows what to do with it at the rim. Curbelo.
Wow.
He's special. Illinois fans, get excited. He's coming to Champaign next season. Number 11 will be your point guard with the ball in his hands next season.
This is number 1, Dwan Odom in blue. And cross court to Jusan Holt, back to Odom. Odom bumped knees with an opposing player last night, but looks to be in fine form. And the block by Zed Key.
Key really has a great instinct around the rim at both ends of the floor.
And a charge going to be called against Traore.
And there's Ellis stepping in. Ellis comes in averaging 12 points a game, contributes in so many ways. Number 24, a versatile player, high academic student. Again, college coaches, Division II that need a winner. Number 24 has been making solid plays all week for St. Francis.
Kevin, we talked about this and breezed through it a moment ago, but 94-foot length court here at the Beach Ball Classic. The college length, high schools usually play on 84 foot, and then after 6 days of basketball, it's got to be exhausting.
I tell you what, when they get back to that 84-foot court, they're going to be flying around.
Flying, yep. But Jusan Holt.
Jusan Holt can really shoot it. Comes in number 95, nationally ranked, holds off for some Georgia Tech, and several high majors are in to see him today.
And a little floater from Curbelo off the assist from Hugo Bergstrom.
He may be as good as any point guard in the country at shooting that floater. I mean, that's his go-to shot, and he has it dialed in.
And there's another long 3 from Holt.
That's great to see. I know Coach Catlett's got to love that. Last night he was a little timid as the game got tight. Holt comes out, hits 2 tray balls early.
A lot of offensive scoring so far. And up underneath, Zed Key with another 2.
That's what he does. Good friend Paul Biancardi, ESPN National Recruiting Director, raves about the way that Zed Key goes after the ball.
Another 3 on the way for Chase Ellis. Can't get it to fall, but St. Francis comes down with the rebound into the hands of Jordan Brown, who is capable of taking over a game himself. Jordan Brown started as a freshman, now 6'1" sophomore, averages about 16 points per game, but once he gets going, he really gets going, wearing number 23 in blue.
Yeah, and there were 2 players, talking about Seth Hubbard and Jordan Brown, that came in last year that Coach Catlett wasn't even sure if they were going to play varsity. And they came in and contributed, and they stayed on the floor, and they ended up winning a state title. They've been solid here all week at the beach ball.
Odom short, blocked shot off of Holt, and quickly we go the other way, up off the left side for Corbello using the right hand.
Points in the paint. Luhigh with 12.
You know, I've done several games where 4 minutes in, nobody had scored already. 23 points of offense. Long 3 on the way. Easy rebound for Brown. Or I'm sorry, for Traore. Corbello.
Wow.
Got to stop him.
Wow.
You know, just go to the rim.
I mean, he's so crafty around the rim, especially in traffic. It's like the game slows down for Corbello, and he can score in a number of ways.
And you've said that about the best point guards, the best players. Once they get to the rim, the game just slows down, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, it's even that pass right there. I mean, that's a special pass he just threw ahead.
Traore with the gets called as he's shooting, and we'll take a timeout. It's 17-8. Back in a moment for more of the third place game on the Beach Ball Classic.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
Long Island Lutheran out of New York leads St. Francis out of Georgia 17-8 here in the third place game of the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. As Luhigh's Andre Corbello comes over to say hello to Kevin Schneider and me and Robert Burns and whoever else.
I tell you what, he's special, man. He just came over and said, I just want to thank you guys for all you do and appreciate your kind words.
Cool.
The leader he is, before they went to the timeout, he was pulling every single one of his players over to that huddle. You win titles with players like that.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, I said
Leaders.
that about Quinn Cook. With players and leaders and the type of character that Andre Corbello has, you win titles. And Brad Underwood couldn't be more happy to have him coming his way, playing for the Fighting Illini next season.
Traore makes both of them from the free throw line. Let's take a look at some quick stats. St. Francis shooting just 30% from the field. Long Island Lutheran shooting 73% from the field. Luhigh's points in the paint, 12-0 for St. Francis.
And that was something Coach Catlett did not want to see happen, is Luhigh get to the paint. But for Coach Buck, that was the emphasis. Let's get it in the paint and score. And Corbello has 8 early, comes in averaging 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists a game for Andre Curbelo here at the Beach Ball.
The problem, you can say you don't want to get into the paint, but you can't deny Curbelo or Zed Key. Zed Key is going to take it to the basket until you stop him.
And that's Zed Key now has 3 blocks. I mean, he's blocking everything around the rim right now.
And might have got a fingertip on that one, but it does fall for St. Francis. Quickly ahead, Key. And the recovery right into the hands of Dwan Odom, the Xavier signee. Turnover, back to Key. And the one-handed dunk from Zed Key.
Buckeye Nation, he's headed your way. Reminds me a lot of Jared Solinger. Maybe not as advanced offensively, but his frame and his instinct and his body remind me a lot of Mr. Solinger.
You know, and I've said this over and over again, but what I like most about Zed Key is the way he's able to get physical under the basket. Doesn't shy away from it at all.
Super high basketball IQ for a big. Knows how to seal, positions himself, takes your space, and eats it up to his advantage where he can score. He does his work early as well in the block, and it makes it easy around the rim when he's looking to put it up to the basket.
Kloschek with a three-pointer on the way. Good! Kasper Kloschek played with the FIBA Under-16 Euro Championship team. He's from Poland, but he played for Italy and has several major offers.
Yeah, Washington State, Santa Clara both have offered, and it's good to see him get it going. Had a quiet night last night, but that stroke shows why those programs are knocking.
Nice dish up underneath into the hands of Kai Simmons, and we'll get the assist as well for St. Francis.
Simmons, another Division I prospect for St. Francis, number 21.
Jordan Brown, we talked about his prowess on the court a moment ago, and another blocked shot, but the putback by Odom.
Brown should get the assist on that.
This might be 100.
Took 2 guys to the rim, and then obviously easy lay-in, easiest layup for Odom he's had all week.
You might see a 100-point game here, Kevin. This is high-paced offense.
It's about time. We've seen some defensive grinds, except Morgan Park today put up 121 against Socastee, and that was a beach ball record.
Wow. Underneath, another one for Zed Key. Key now with 10 points in the game, on his way to another double-double.
If St. Francis doesn't tighten up these lanes, it will be in the hundreds, because nobody can exploit you more than Andre Curbelo, and Key's finishing in the paint.
Three-pointer from the left corner on the way, good for Holt.
You know, you love when college coaches are in to see you, and you light it up. I love that from Jay Sean Holt. Has several high majors in looking at him, and he has 3 tray balls, ranked number 95 nationally in the 2021 class, number 4.
Kevin, I've always wondered this, but if you're a basketball player sitting on the bench on the other side, or you play basketball and you're out on the court, how do you know sometimes that all these coaches are here?
You get to know them, you spot them on the sidelines, and there's some that I know were here yesterday, and I was tweeting out who was here, and they're sitting way up in the stands. I mean, I didn't see those guys, but it's been a great college coaches turnout here all week. Tony Bennett was here yesterday with Virginia. Obviously we've had Brad Underwood came to watch his 2 recruits, and Adam Miller and Andre Curbelo, and then Mike Young, who plays Tony Bennett this Saturday, is in today to see the action and the talent.
So a lot of scouts and a lot of talents here at the Beach Ball Classic. Coaches, this is a big-time program in its 39th year now. Lou High leads St. Francis 29-20, and is it going as expected?
A lot of scoring. It's been fun to watch. I know that.
I
mean, to see these guys, and with open lanes, nobody's more fun to watch maybe than Andre Curbelo and Dwan Odom. Odom has started out a little slow here early, but look to see him get it going, especially if the lanes are open. But Jashawn Holt's been the shooting star. The junior has 14. He's now hit 4 threes, number 4 in Navy.
Zed Key leads Long Island with 10 points, and Curbelo with 8 now. Up underneath the basket. Foul going to be called. St. Francis has improved their shooting percentage up to 44% now. Long Island Lutheran shooting 80% from the field, 75% from behind the three-point arc.
They're feeling it, man. Both teams are hot. Lutheran gets so much done in the paint, with 16 points in the paint. I mean, you win a lot of games when you're playing that way, I'll put it that way.
Kai Simmons, 60% free throw shooter here in the tournament. Misses the first one, the 6'7" senior at the line wearing number 21 for blue. 2 16-minute halves here in the Beach Ball Classic, and we're halfway through exactly the first half. Corbello across the timeline. Juan Odom looks to come out. Cross-court pass to Jaden Reed. This is a guy that can come in and have an impact immediately. To Traore. And stepped on the baseline, so it'll be a turnover. St. Francis will get the ball back.
It's a good possession defensively if you're St. Francis. You need to keep them in front. Juan Odom had 30, top 60, number 1 in blue.
Quickly inside, up and underneath. Holt able to sidestep the size of Zed Key.
Really like Jay-Sean Holt's game. His game's going to translate extremely well to the next level with his ability to score outside and inside, as we just last saw.
And credit Kai Simmons with the block on Zed Key. St. Francis will get the ball out of bounds, and we'll have some substitutions for Lehigh. Hugo Bergstrom comes out, and Paul Jordan comes in.
Paul Jordan, he had me out of my seat during the slam dunk contest, one of the best dunks I've seen in a while. Bounced it, went between the legs with a windmill. Let's see what he does today, number 14.
Looking inside, open is Kai Simmons. Take advantage of that opportunity.
Simmons has done a nice job posting up deep. That's 2 consecutive times down where he's got inside position, held his ground, and scored inside for St. Francis.
Defense collapsed, allowed the outside shot to come, and the bounce around, playing a little volleyball under the net, but a foul going to be called against Lehigh. And they call it against Classic. Casper Classic, 6'8" junior. Juan Odom across the timeline, looks in the right corner. Long three-pointer on the way, and down with it is Zed Key.
Zed Key just
He'll have a double-double by halftime if he keeps this up. Key with 10 points now, and just 2 rebounds. 3 blocks.
St. Francis 3 straight stops there has allowed them to really crawl back into this game. There you see Odom running the show. They also had another star the last time they were here running the point guard spot for them, and that was Kobe Simmons, now in the NBA.
Nice lob, but a little too long, and there's the guy we talked about, Jaden Reed, able to come in. Zed Key with putback.
Racking him up, Mr. Key.
Key with 12 points in the game now, 4 rebounds. And another foul going to be called, this time against, looks like Lehigh. Or no, they called it against St. Francis.
You know, the instinct Zed Key has to go get the ball at both ends of the floor is super impressive. You know, he just covers ground, uses his body, owns real estate, and knows what to do with it once he gets in that position where he can score, go get the ball. Just like that.
Zed Key up underneath. Will keep after it, and rebound tip back in.
We
just
call
padding the stats.
Yeah, just padding the stats, baby. I mean, he's now got 14 points, 5 rebounds. Zed Key with 4 blocks. His teammate almost had a triple-double in round 1. Expect Zed Key to be itching that triple-double range very soon here.
And you look at St. Francis's head coach. That's Drew Catlett. He was with West Virginia University for 11 years. 6th year as a head coach at St. Francis. He runs this program like a college program.
Great guy, one of my good friends in the business, and I love Drew Catlett and the job he's done. And he's excited about this team. They won it last year, and he's looking to make a repeat of that this season, led by his 2 stars, Juan Odom and Ja'Shawn Holt.
Sat down with Drew Catlett before the tournament started and just pick his brain a little bit about his players and his teams, and we got into a long-winded conversation. He was sharing his knowledge of basketball and his history and his family's history with me. It went so long, his wife actually came over and said, Coach, we need to leave now. I said, well, I'm sorry to take your time, but it was so interesting. His knowledge is so deep of basketball. It's really impressive.
When it's in your blood, you love to talk about it. And that man right there can
Reed
make some shots, Tyler. Quick trigger. The freshman is fearless, number 4, Jaden Reed.
Dribble drive into the paint, and on the dish, taken away into the hands of Corbello. Corbello up underneath the basket, and they find Zed Key again. Timeout coming. Drew Catlett says, let's get the team over and point out exactly how Zed Key is getting so many of these baskets.
That's a 9-0 run for Luhai right there over the last
minute and 20, yeah.
Minute 20. And, you know, if you're St. Francis, the key was points in the paint, and that's where Luhai's doing all their damage inside, led by the Ohio State signee, Zed Key.
Well, as you mentioned, 9-0 run for Luhai. They've made 3 of their last 3 field goals. But for St. Francis, 3 turnovers over the last 2.5 minutes, and a scoring drought as well over that same period. With 4.5 minutes to play, Long Island Lutheran leading St. Francis, Georgia. The Knights coming in at 12-2 records. Long Island Lutheran 8-2.
You know, DeJuan Odom came in averaging 23.5 points a game. He got banged up on the last play last night, so you have to wonder where is he at physically in this game. Only has 2 points, maybe battling a knee injury as we close out the Beach Ball Classic.
And DeJuan Odom sits on the bench on the far side taking a breather. Four and a half minutes to play, and St. Francis under their own basket. You know, Jordan Brown will inbound.
You need to get the sophomores going here now. Jordan Brown and Seth Hubbard. Holt's been outstanding, really has 14 points, 14 of the 24, but needs some extra energy and production off the bench.
Another rebound for Zed Key and taken away under the basket by St. Francis now. Over to Holt, swinging around, set the offense for Chase Ellis, back to Holt. Thinks about taking it into the paint, brings it back out for Jordan Brown, back to Holt. Chase Ellis to Holt. Stripped away by Corbello.
Poetry in motion coming right at you.
He is so smooth. Goodness gracious. Woo! Wow! Andre Corbello!
I'd watch him every day of the week.
He's so good. He is so good.
You know, I compared him to Steve Nash, how he played. And some people may have questioned, some agreed with it, but that's an NBA scout that had told me that at the NBA camp, and I am agreeing with him that his game's a lot like Nash's.
Seth Hubbard with the easy one on the other side. Look at the margin now for Luhai. Up to 14 points.
That ends an 11-0 run by Luhai, now up 14, and Corbello's in complete control over this game right now.
He's so smooth as he goes down the court. Inside pass, knocked away from Traore, and that'll give us a chance to take a break. Luhai leads St. Francis 40-26 in the third place game of the Beach Ball Classic. Not S. 40-26 is the lead for Lehigh early here in the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is the third place game. I'm Tyler Watkins along with Kevin Schneider and courtside producer Robert Burns. And Kevin, what do you see so far in this game?
It's been the Zedkey Andre Curbelo show. They'll be playing against each other next season in the Big Ten. Curbelo headed Illinois, Key to Ohio State, but man, they gel well on the court for Lehigh. Key has 16 and 7. Curbelo with 10, 3 dimes, and 5 steals. We just checked the record books. Wayne White, courtside, said the record, Shaheen Holloway, had 13 steals. Look at that play right there.
Wow.
Out of a timeout.
My goodness, Curbelo showing his knowledge. He puts it off the back of a opposing player, grabs it himself, and puts it up into the hoop.
He's a magician on that court, number 11.
Lehigh has 24 points in the paint to 10 from St. Francis. Points off turnovers, 15 for Lehigh. St. Francis with 9. Fast break points, Lehigh with 8 and 0 for St. Francis. This has been the Lehigh show in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, you sit with these college coaches and they watch players and they're like, he's one of those players they always leave saying, man, I love his game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Curbelo's just fun to watch. And I think Caden Matheny has that same effect out of University, West Virginia. The way he plays, he's just so fun to watch. You'd love to have him on your team and hate to coach against him. And Curbelo's the same way. I mean, game planning against him, you just don't know what he's going to do with the ball.
And Dwan Odom makes the second one to cut the margin. It's 42-28 now. And Curbelo on the run. And when he gets challenged, he goes low. You know, keeps that ball just inches off the court. Low center of gravity and able to maintain control against an aggressive Dwan Odom. Baseline hop, lost it, got it back. And with the game he's played tonight, I thought he might get it to fall. Jump ball situation, and Long Island Lutheran will retain possession.
I'll tell you, the size from Lehigh and length has really been a factor in this game. Blocking shots at the defensive end and obviously crashing the offensive glass. They've really done damage in the point with 24 points in the paint.
Curbelo inbounds to Jaden Reed. Cross-court pass, and that's a dangerous one. But Bergstrom able to track it down. Let's go back to Bergstrom now. Set play, and a kick coming, I assume.
They really do an outstanding job getting that high-low action with Traore and Zed Key. Traore's intriguing prospect, can step out and shoot it, does a nice job passing from the high post, and that man is the microwave. Jaden Reed.
I love the set play, though, by the coach for John Buck, how he set that one up to give Reed the spacing and the opportunity to drop that three.
Reed averages 6 points a game and only plays 14 minutes, so he gets it done in limited amount of time.
Jordan Brown from just behind the free throw line, and quickly ahead to Zed Key for 2 more.
Simple game. Zed Key, super efficient with his movements and his shot-making ability.
Here's Jaden Reed on the breakaway. Right side, easy layup, fundamental basketball.
You have to wonder what percentage of health Dwan Odom is in right now. That's his 6th turnover. Has had a really hard time getting to the rim, and that's his game, is attacking downhill.
Shocking score on the scoreboard as Lehigh leads by 19 now. Third place game of the Beach Ball Classic. Both teams playing aggressive on both sides. Lehigh has just been able to put up a better performance off the hands of that guy, Curbelo and Key. Key's going to be fouled, go to the line for a couple. That is Zed Key, 6'8", 3-star senior, signed with Ohio State.
And the Buckeyes have had an outstanding season. Look for them to make a run at it. That Big Ten is going to be a tough battle. I mean, every team has had quality wins so far in the Big Ten. And their future prospects have put on a show here. As I mentioned earlier, Adam Miller of Morgan Park joined in an elite group of players scoring 52 this morning. Mike Bibby, Luke Kennard, and Jalik Felton, the only other players to score 50-plus here at the beach ball. Adam Morgan.
18 points now for Key in the first half, and quickly the other way, Dwan Odom.
It's the first time he's been able to really get in the paint and make a play. Dwan Odom headed to Xavier to play for Travis Steele next season.
Here's Corbello. Inside out, Jaden Reed. Trust your teammates. Had it blocked, though. And Jordan Brown will quickly transition. Kevin takes the headset with him. 51-35. And it's a turnover. And Jordan Brown tries to end things positively for St. Francis, but Lehigh has controlled this basketball game in the first half. Goodness gracious, 51-35. That performance by Andre Corbello and Zed Key, but can't discount the impact that Traore has had and Klaschek has had here early in this contest. At the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, we are inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, and Kevin Schneider has headed over to try to corral head coach John Buck of the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders. Try to get a quick interview with him. As Long Island coming in 8-2 on the season, St. Francis 12-2 on the year. And quick look at Long Island Lutheran's scoring. Corbello has 12 points in the game. Key has 20 points now in the game with 8 rebounds. Also Jaden Reed with 8 points in the game, and Hugo Bergstrom with 10. Those are the leading scorers for Long Island Lutheran. For St. Francis, they're led by Holt with 16, Odom with 9, and Simmons with 4. Kevin Snyder is standing courtside with John Buck, the coach of the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders. Go ahead, Kevin.
Coach, you have to be pleased with this effort here in the first half, 51-35. Your two stars, Corbello running the show and Zed Key inside with 20 and 8.
Yeah, you know, the theme of the day was toughness. You know, playing the night after, you know, a loss really just reveals character, I believe. And so we came out tough, at least on the offensive end. I think defensively we still got a ways to go. But, you know, the kids have the right mindset, and fourth game in 5 days, not easy. So we got to put 16 more minutes together.
The travel on your team, Iolani Classic, then heading home and playing here, has that had a wear on your team?
I don't know. You know, it's hard to say because we've, you know, I don't know what to compare it to. We're ready to get home for sure, but we're going to take care of business here before doing it.
Well, it hasn't shown in the first half. Lehigh leads 51-35, and their stars are making plays. Best of luck second half.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Third place game here at the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Another exciting one. And when we come back, it's the HTC Halftime Report right here from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is the Beach Ball Classic.
You wear many hats, and HTC knows what you need to keep the day running smoothly. You're an entertainment coordinator, appointment maker, and business superhero. You're a personal chef, chauffeur extraordinaire, and a trusted protector. No matter where life takes you, HTC keeps you connected by bringing world-class technology right here to Horry and Georgetown counties, because you are here, and so are we.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
Finally! Hey everybody, we were just talking about what Randall's going to be having for dinner tonight. Let's visit myrtlebeach.com, giving us an opportunity to talk with former city councilman Randall Wallace.
Yeah, thank you all for having me on. I appreciate it.
Good to have you back, and newly accomplished author.
Well, yeah, we just worked on it. Just got it out on December the 19th.
How about that?
Yeah,
let me see that. Oh yeah, still got that new book smell. Wow, hot off the press.
Yeah, so it's
Is this a juicy tell-all, Randall, or is...
no,
Okay,
it's
all right.
it's got a few Myrtle Beach City Council stories in it, but for the most part, it's really a kind of a look at trying to put civility back in government and back in politics, and some examples from my time in local government, my time working on campaigns, and some of the people I work with, and then if you'll recall, I ran for Congress.
I do remember that. Yeah,
in 2012.
You did well in the debate.
Yeah, and some of the issues that I put together, as a platform, some of those are addressed in there too. So it's kind of that kind of.
Well, this is a book that even if you're not from Myrtle Beach, you can read and get something out of because you tackle a lot of national stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think so, and it also get a chance to talk about some of the people. I worked a little bit on the campaigns for Bob Dole and Strom Thurmond, and some of those folks. So I talk a lot of history and political.
How
stuff.
old were you when you were working for Strom Thurmond? You were like in your
25.
Okay.
25, 26. His last campaign, I worked on that.
96?
1996, yeah.
Okay.
Which was the greatest year of my entire life.
96?
Yeah, because I got to work on Senator Dole's presidential campaign.
Right.
And as soon as he was eliminated, I switched over to Senator Thurmond, and it was like being, front row seat to history to have both of those guys to be a part of this
I
campaign.
remember that year. Jack Kemp was making appearances here like quite frequently. It was a lot of fun.
And he ended up on the ticket with Dole.
Yeah.
So it was Dole Kemp in '96. And it was a tough campaign. We didn't win, but it was a lot of fun.
So how you getting this book out? Where can folks get it?
At Amazon.com right now. So if you go onto Amazon and either look my name up, and you might want to put Randall Wallace Myrtle Beach because there's a famous movie producer with my same name.
Yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely.
But or under the title, and it should come up.
That's Randall with one L. That'll narrow down your search a little bit. Randall, and then obviously Wallace. Always vote your conscience. Man, that's cool. I think everybody's got a book in them, and you did something about it. So that's cool.
And I will tell you a little about the story. You remember James Frazier, who used to be the county councilman here?
Absolutely, yeah.
He gave me that advice. He said, always vote your conscience, don't take it personally, and don't fight the same old battles over and over again.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that was the best advice I ever got when I started out in this deal.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Politics still in your future?
You never know, but right now I'm enjoying basketball and kind of taking it easy.
All right. I won't press you. I won't give you the full court press. See what I did there? See what I did there, bad boy? Hey, we got some great basketball ahead. To find out more about our great town, visit myrtlebeach.com. More basketball in a bit.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.
Long Island Lutheran leads St. Francis 51-35 in the third place game of the Beach Ball Classic here in beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Tyler Watkins and Kevin Schneider courtside here at the J. Lambeau Schwartz Arena inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Kevin, it's been a good game so far, but I'm surprised at the lead by Long Island Lutheran. I thought it'd be a closer game to this point. Dwan Odom, of course, may be affected by that injury, but it's apparent now in watching these two teams that Long Island Lutheran is just very good, and Andre Curbelo is as advertised by you. We've got a highlight reel. Love to be able to show this. So just the first half action. Let's take a look from the first half here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah, and here you see the freshman knocking it down. Mr. Jaden Reed, and he was, in talking with Coach Buck at half, he was a player that he thought he should have maybe played him a little bit more last night, but he's got it going early, and Zed Key comes in with 20 points, 8 rebounds, headed to Ohio State next season, and then you see Jaden Reed, the freshman. You'll be hearing from him for many years to come, and he's had another outstanding showing with 8 points in only 7 minutes. Jay-Sean Holt's been the standout player for this St. Francis team, and obviously you see the Xavier commit, top 60 player, DeJuan Odom, has 9. Got going late in the first half, but really had a quiet first half, had 6 turnovers, wasn't able to get to the rim, battling a knee injury right now. So let's see what he brings this second half.
Let's take a look at the stats from the first half, and impressive numbers for the Long Island Lutheran team. I'll let you go through these.
Yeah, Corbello with 12, 5 assists, and has 6 steals. So he's working on another triple-double. Just came up short in the last time he played with 25, 19 points, and 9 assists. But Zed Key, super efficient. The point of emphasis that Drew Catlett had before the game was stopping them, not letting them score in the paint. Zed Key doing work for Lehigh with on 9 of 11 shooting, 20 points, 8 rebounds. And then Jashawn Holt, several high major schools in to see him today, has 4 threes to lead St. Francis on 6 of 9 shooting.
Kevin, I know you're a recruiting guy and not a coaching analyst, but I'll ask you anyway, how do you stop Zed Key? I mean, how do you get this guy shut down?
You need to obviously get him out of the post, force him out. He scores a lot of his points within the paint. They do a great job. Credit to big fella, Traore, on the high-low action where Key seals off and allows him to score easily. I think you got to be in help side on the back end. If you're going to play in the front, you got to definitely be in the hole, not allowing them to throw over the top.
Well, the problem with it is if you push Zed Key out to the perimeter, Corbello will take advantage of that open space and drive right to the basket.
You know, and that shows you how big time of a job St. John's did last night guarding Lehigh to hold them to half of what they've scored. They've been averaging 72 in the Beach Ball Classic, and they're going to well past that, it looks like, today. But credit Coach Patrick Behan, who we'll see taking on a talented Dorman squad next in the championship for their defensive pressure and game plan going into that game to stop Lehigh.
And that is coming up next. This is the third place game of the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 6 days of wonderful vacation and basketball for these players as they've spent some time on the beach and spent time visiting the attractions around town, enjoying what 60 miles of Grand Strand has to offer. If you have a chance, pull up visitmyrtlebeach.com, M-Y-R-T-L-E, visitmyrtlebeach.com, and we'd love to see you here. St. Francis will control early, and another rebound for Zed Key. I feel like I could just record that and put a button beside the desk and just push it every basket.
I mean, it's
another
either
rebound
a rebound or a
Key.
block. He's making it happen. 21 in white.
Right into the hands of Chase Ellis for the rebound. And Ellis swings it around. DeJuan Odom with the three-pointer. Ellis with the rebound inside, taken away by Klaschek. To Traore. And Bergstrom will set the offense for Long Island Lutheran. Corbello out to Bergstrom. The three-pointer is good for Hugo Bergstrom, the 6-foot senior.
That's great movement, the drift. Bergstrom drifted to the corner, and Corbello knows what to do with it. All eyes are on him when he has the ball in his hands, whether you're a fan or you're an opponent, and he knows where to find his shooters. Jordan Brown right back at you.
Brown drains the three from outside, and the officials stop play momentarily. 2 16-minute halves here at the Beach Ball Classic. I know some of these high school teams play quarters, but for speed purposes and the number of games that we have, they break it down into 2 16-minute halves, which, look at this dribble drive. Can't get it to fall, though.
What a pass, though. I mean, he does not miss. He makes all the right reads. Corbello with the ball.
DeJuan Odom inside amongst Key, and Key's going to get called for the foul. Kevin, we talk about the potential exhaustion for these teams. 6 days of basketball, 94-foot court, 10 more than they're used to playing on, and then you throw in the fact that it's 2 16-minute quarters. They don't get that break, or 2 16-minute halves. They don't get that break between quarters as well, and it can be tough on a player.
It is, but you talk to these two coaches, they don't care.
No?
You know, Coach Buck, he obviously is still a little upset after that loss last night. Even being up at halftime, you could tell it was still eating at him that they're not playing in the championship game at 7:15. So look for them to really lock in and close out with a bang here in the second half. But, you know, I think you're right. For the players, though, they do run down. And
Yeah.
they've been here in Myrtle Beach for 5-6 days now, and it's the holidays, and I'm sure they're ready to kind of get back home. Their body or mentally they're starting to, slow down a little bit.
The last possession for St. Francis off the hands of Kai Simmons out of bounds, and now Long Island Lutheran with a substantial lead and the ball under their basket. Chase Ellis, 6'3" senior across the timeline. To Dwan Odom, swinging around the key.
St. Francis is going to make a comeback here. Number 1 has to get going, and that is the Xavier commit.
And the rebound on the weak side for Traore. Corbello. It's double teamed on the outside. Relies on his teammates. This is Zed Key. Takes it right into the paint. And the putback by Drissa Traore.
You rolling the R on that one. He's been making plays the last 2 nights. Been very impressed with Drissa. That's why St. John's, Illinois, UMass, several others have offered number 13 in white.
The rebound for Holt. To Brown, back to Holt. He can make this 3. Just the back of the iron, and a nice rebound for Zed Key. 20 points now, and 10 rebounds for Zed Key. It's a double-double.
That's his 7th steal right there.
Corbello from the front of the rim this time.
I thought he'd bang it out. He
Showing-
went in with the filet finger roll.
Showing a little variety in his step. 20-point game now, Lehigh with the lead. Third place game of the Beach Ball Classic.
Corbella now with 14 points, 7 steals, 6 assists, working on a triple-double, number 11.
Holt to Odom, back to Holt. Thinks about the 3, uses the blocking of his teammates, gets the shot off but can't get it to fall, and Corbello missed a smooth across the timeline.
Look at that.
What I love about him is when danger comes, he gets low. He gets that ball just inches off the ground, continues to dribble and retain possession.
He would be super fun to play with because the ball's always coming your way. You just got to be in position and ready to shoot.
Just like the no-look pass he just made.
I mean, he hits you in the pocket. He does not miss. Wow. I mean, look at that pass.
Incredible. Can't get it to fall, though. Kloschek, and quickly the other way. This is Holt to Odom. Inside, and the block comes from Kloschek. To Bergstrom.
Nice
the
pass.
lob got tipped, but the recovery, and it's a scrum. Now Odom. 2-on-1, and that's the way you play team basketball. To Holt. 11:06.
Good timeout by Coach Catlett. Break the momentum. Down by 18. They really need to make a run here if they're going to come back.
Let's take a timeout as well. Lehigh leads St. Francis when we return. This is the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic. In the third place game of the Beach Ball Classic here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Long Island Lutheran has been impressive. It's a 58-40 lead for the team out of Brookville, New York, coming in ranked number 9 in the country. And the Crusaders have shown their stuff. But Kevin, we're talking about some of the best players in this tournament, and I know one of the mentions was Andre Corbello. And Kevin, the more he plays, the more impressive he is. He plays like a college-level athlete that's playing against high school kids. His smoothness, the way he's able to dish the ball, get to the basket, see the court, he is a total package.
Yeah, and his maturity level and leadership qualities will allow him to go into Champaign next year and run the team for the Illini from the get-go with the ability that he has to not only pass it, score around the rim, but just make plays. Even the simple back cut he just made, you can just run offense through him, and that's what Brad Underwood expects to do next season. You know, I've been doing this for 30 years, and there's names that stick out, not for their name, but for their performance on the court. Kobe Bryant was one. Baron Davis was another for me. And this guy, Corbello, is somebody I'll never forget. That's his 8th steal right here. Close to a triple-double.
Wow. Corbello.
I tell you what, there's players that are here every year that come in with an opportunity to make a point to be a McDonald's All-American. And Andre Corbello has done everything possible with his performance here to leave that lasting statement with his play. Another assist, Corbello.
With the vision of the court and just the smooth pass to a wide-open player.
18 points,
incredible
7
game.
dimes, 8 steals in 22 minutes.
I tell you, folks watching back home, if you find a broadcaster that has become speechless like I'm becoming over Corbello, that is an impressive effort. Because shutting me up is an impressive effort.
Kloshek's done a nice job blocking shots, using his length, number 23. He and Zed Key and Traore have really caused some havoc within the paint with their length.
You can just look at Corbello's eyes, how he shifts left to right, just evaluating the court as he comes down. He's like a quarterback that stands in the pocket, checking his reads. And they call him for a travel this time.
Said who, me? He's got 7 assists. That's only his 3rd turnover.
Shooting from the field, 60% for Long Island Lutheran. St. Francis shooting just 39%. Lehigh shooting 54% from behind the three-point line and 33% for St. Francis. Just not their night, but Lehigh has certainly come out to perform. Lehigh, the 3 times Federation champions in the state of New York. This is their 2nd Beach Ball Classic. They were second. They came in second in 2017, averaged 65 points per game. And that's where they sit right now with 9 minutes left. Almost halfway through the second half of the 3rd place game in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Nice set.
Yep. Nice pick. And the rebounding presence just doesn't pay off, not for due to lack of effort. Chase Ellis will go to the line for a couple, the 6'3" senior. St. Francis really a transition team. They play fast, and you see it on the court today. But as we start to talk about St. Francis Knights out of Milton, Georgia, they got a famous alum a famous celebrity that attends a lot of their basketball games. He knows how to play poker, too. Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers.
Got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. I just bet it all.
Yeah.
Let it ride. They want to say a big hello to Drew Busha-Lada and family back watching in Milton, Georgia. The headmaster of the St. Francis Knights. St. Francis has played in 6 of the last state championships, winning 3, but tonight, not their night. 8.5 minutes left. Kevin, we've seen it happen. Teams have come back to win, though, from this deficit. Bergstrom inside for Key. The turnaround, and he gets it off, but do they count it? I'll have to rely on you. I can't see the official.
It'll be interesting. In the Big Ten, they may let that one go, but not today.
No.
They got him with an intentional elbow.
And they'll call Zed Key with the foul.
Yeah, he kind
That'll
of.
be his third if it is.
It's a physical play, and that's who he is. I mean, he's a physical player, and obviously caught him with the elbow with the intentional foul. I don't think it was intentional as far as how he plays. I mean, it's just a physical player, and he's backing down, and Kai Simmons happened to be there doing a nice job staying in front. I thought, you know, as far as guarding Zed Key, you want to make him go to his second and third moves instead of just throwing it over the top where he's creating space with his body before the pass even gets there.
Simmons to the line for a couple and made the first, has 5 points in the game, but missed the second. He's 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Decreases his average of 60% here in the Beach Ball Classic. And St. Francis will get the ball out of bounds under Luhai's basket. Inbounds will be Chase Ellis, finds Dwan Odom, the Xavier signee. He averages 24 points per game, does Odom, and he sits with 9 now. Thinks about looking inside. Now the swinging around the key. Now to the inside post and overthrown for Kai Simmons, out of bounds, and Long Island Lutheran will get it back after the turnover.
That's great, D. They were in the gaps. They were in the help side. Reed was flying in on the back end to cover the over-the-top pass, and Luhai is super locked in defensively, holding St. Francis to 43 with 8 to go.
St. Francis with 15 turnovers in the game, 10 for Long Island Lutheran. Corbello with a no-look pass up underneath into the hands of Traore, who puts up the 2 and 1 at the line.
How about that split? Coming off the ball screen, he's the best point guard in America at coming off a ball screen. And I'm talking the best of the best. I mean, the Cade Cunninghams and the guards that are getting it done on the national level. Corbello is as good as any, coming off a ball screen, knowing what to do with it, and he had another dime. That's his 9th assist, Corbello.
You know, coming into this game, I thought it might be a matchup of the injured players on the bench because we thought Dwan Odom may not play. We also thought Corbello, who was holding his foot last night, I don't know if he'd end up playing, but neither one of these guys looked to be affected.
Corbello definitely doesn't. Look at him when he's running around on the court. Key, another board.
Another rebound and more points for Zed Key.
That's 22 and 12 boards.
13 after the update. Should be.
And 5 of them coming at the offensive end for Zed Key. No quitting Dwan Odom. He's a warrior type of player, man. He'll win a lot of games at Xavier. Obviously, Quentin Gooden, senior point guard, heads on to play at the next level. And Odom will have an opportunity to get a lot of minutes early at Xavier with his toughness, maturity, and ability to make plays at the rim.
Luhai has made 5 of their last 7 attempts from the field. St. Francis, though, the other way, 1 of 9. They haven't made a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes. Corbello across the timeline. Shattered by Traore. Over to Bergstrom. Jaden Reed. You know, a guy we haven't talked a lot about, but Bergstrom has been solid on offense. He's not a guy that's going to drive to the basket and hammer it on you or any of that, but a solid pass over to Bergstrom, and you're going to get a solid pass from Bergstrom every single time.
Yeah, and he's been super efficient today. He hasn't missed. He's 3 of 3 from the field.
12 points in the game, quietly.
Give him 12 points. He's 4 of 5. I'm sorry, 3 of 3 earlier in the game. Now 4 of 5, but he knows how to make plays, and he can knock down shots. He was in the three-point shootout for a reason, and he's shown it today with 12.
Luhai got here by defeating Myrtle Beach to open up. Then they defeated Millennium and lost to St. John's last night.
Deshaun Holt's been quiet. You want to see him continue to be a dominant player. He's so gifted offensively, scoring outside with his stroke and an ability to post up using his 6'6" frame inside.
There's Odom
quiet
in amongst the trees and gets it to fall on the favor bounce.
Odom now with 13, starting to heat up a little bit. It's good to see as you close out a game, you want to end on a high note if you're St. Francis. And Zed Key's been on a high note all day today.
24 points now and 12 rebounds. On the official stat sheet, Here's a two-pointer on the way from Chase Ellis. 23-point lead now for Lehigh with 6 minutes to go in the third-place game of the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And nice little floater underneath.
Jaden Reed knows how to score. That gives him 10 on the game in 9 minutes, and he gets it done. And then talking with Coach Buck last night, they wish he would have played him more because they probably may have been on the other side of the column, and that isn't a win because he knows how to score, and he was hot last night. He really brought a great spark off the bench for them, and he's done it again today. 2023 on the radar now for Jaden Reed.
5'9", and a freshman coming into the Beach Ball Classic and playing against these athletes, you would think would be a little timid, a little nervous, but Jaden Reed looks incredibly confident out on the court. And I can't imagine, you know, you keep saying he's a freshman, but can you imagine the confidence that this kid has as a freshman playing? It just seems unreasonable.
You know, we see it with Amani Hansberry as well.
Right.
These players play on the circuit at a young age, and they're going against the top players nationally, either playing their age or even sometimes playing up. And so when they get on this stage, it's sometimes easy when you're playing with players like Andre Curbelo, where you just have to spot up and play your game and knock down shots and just be ready to make a play when the ball comes your way. But you don't see many freshmen on these national teams like a Mount Verde, an IMG, a Lehigh, those type of teams that have been on that national stage for many years, making their mark as freshmen. If they are playing a lot, that means they can really play. And Jaden Reed's one that we'll be hearing from for the next 3 or 4 years in the high school ranks.
I know you have a lot of college teams and NBA players as well communicating with you about the best players in these tournaments and the best players nationwide. But the regular average Joe, how would they find out that information from you? Is there a website or a blog that you run or anything like that that sort of shares some of this stuff?
Yeah, you can go to bigshots.net. We rank, you know, we have state rankings, national rankings, and, you know, obviously media coverage throughout each event that we're at covering. And, you know, we have several scouts on our staff, and you check it out at bigshots.net. All the rankings and recruiting updates that you'd want to find nationally at bigshots.net.
Holt now trying to make an impact. Inside, off the backboard. And St. Francis trying to cut the lead. Holt.
Nice pass.
Yeah, with the feed inside for Chase Ellis, and a foul called. He'll go to the line for a couple.
You know, I really like the way Jashawn Holt can post up. He can not only shoot it, but he has the ability to come off those screens. And he reminds me a little bit of a Landers Nolly, who's down now at Virginia Tech getting it done, a 4-time ACC Rookie of the Week for the Hokies, with his ability to stretch it and also post up inside at 6'6".
Traore is called for the foul. That'll be his third. And Odom going to sit down for a moment, replaced by Jordan Brown. At the line is Chase Ellis. Ellis with 6 points in the game. 7 rebounds. And not able to make the second one, but another rebound for Zed Key.
Now with 13, that's 24 and 13 for the future Ohio State Buckeye, number 21 in white, 4-star prospect.
Now, Kevin, as he gets closer, if he has 10 defensive rebounds and 10 offensive rebounds, does it become a triple-triple with his, scoring?
I tell you what, he set that up too. He knew where he was going. He spun off the left shoulder, went to the weak side. So efficient. He's now 12 of 15 as Zed Key.
Holt put it on the floor and had it stripped away, but a foul going to be called. Should be out of bounds for St. Francis.
You know, we talked about it earlier. My buddy Clark Francis and I were talking about the all-tournament team, and it's a tough job to come up with 10 players to make the all-tournament team, but Zed Key's making a strong statement.
How about that?
And he just handed it off to him. He had a question mark on Zed coming in. I think that may be a check because the way he's playing, he's been as dominant as any big.
As you mentioned, Clark Francis, he walks down and puts the sheet right in front of your face as if it was planned. I like that.
You know, Deron Holmes, another player that's been impressive from Millennium. I know Vanderbilt, Tony Bennett, Illinois, many were in to see him. 5-star prospect out of Arizona. It's been nice to see players perform well on this type of stage, and what a great opportunity to not only play at the Beach Ball Classic, to play on stadium, and in front of these many scouts that we have courtside.
Long three on the way. Can't come down with it, but Zed with another. Zed Key with another rebound and putback.
That's 28 and 14. He had 28 and 15 in round one. He's at it again.
And Holt can't get her to fall. Bergstrom. And Traore gets fouled under the basket. 78-51 is the lead for Lehigh. When we return, we're inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. It's the Beach Ball Classic.
You wear many hats, and HTC knows what you need to keep the day running smoothly. You're an entertainment coordinator, appointment maker, and business superhero. You're a personal chef, chauffeur extraordinaire, and a trusted protector. No matter where life takes you, HTC keeps you connected by bringing world-class technology right here to Horry and Georgetown counties, because you are here, and so are we.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
Long Island Lutheran out of New York leads St. Francis out of Georgia, 78-51 in the third place game of the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Tyler Watkins and Kevin Schneider courtside. And Kevin, as we start to think about that HTC Premier Performer Award winner, Zed Key with 26 points, 13 rebounds, has got to be one of those guys that's, maybe at the top of the list.
He's up there. I tell you, it's either him or Corbello. Corbello, 18 points, 8 dimes,
wow.
8 assists.
Yep.
And those
steals,
two have put on a show here for the Myrtle Beach crowd and those tuning in.
Now that I look at Corbello's numbers, 18 points, 8 assists, 8 steals,
5 rebounds.
I am happy that I'm not the guy that has to make that decision. Choosing players of the game, never my forte.
They have to ask the main statistician, Wayne White, on this one.
Wayne and I do North Myrtle Beach High School football on the radio, and he's the guy that chooses the player of the game during football. I looked over at him as I said that, and he just shook his head like, nope.
Look at the work he does inside. Post up so deep, get out of the paint.
And this
Talking
is
about Zed Key, does an outstanding job. Does his work early.
No shot clock here in high school basketball in South Carolina. And Key underneath is going to be fouled.
It's a simple game that I think that's sometimes made hard. Zed Key
make
keeps
the most
it so
baskets.
simple. Limited, footwork, limited moves. Does exactly what he needs to do every time. And Corbello's the same way. Obviously, he's poetry in motion with the rock, but he makes the right read. He's really done an outstanding job. He's usually 2-to-1 or sometimes 3-to-1 on his assist-to-turnover ratio. And, he's been outstanding all tournament. Talking about Andre Corbello along with the future Buckeye, Zed Key.
Can we make it 2 premier performers of the game? Is that possible?
Well, they both have been special. Zed Key's been the top rebounder in the event. And Corbello, outdid him in one game, had 19 rebounds to set a Beach Ball Classic record, beating Kevin Garnett's record of 15 boards.
Kevin Garnett was special at the Beach Ball Classic. You just knew his talent.
And we've had some special players over the years. I mean, Kobe, Jason Kidd, Kawhi Leonard played here with King when he was under the radar at one point. Nice pass.
Inside, hammer for Holt. Coming alive now while he goes to the line for the +1. Kevin, I did want to mention some of those names. Kobe Bryant, Kwame Brown, Baron Davis, Danny Ferry, Kenny Anderson, Mike Bibby. They've all played here at the Beach Ball Classic. Kawhi Leonard, Luke Kennard, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Kyrie Irvin, Vince Carter. It's pages and pages of names that you would recognize, and I've just given you a sample there.
I mean, it's unbelievable, the talent year after year. The stars of the day that we'll see playing on the bigger stage tomorrow.
Who's the guy that you remember most through the years?
You know, I thought Grayson Allen and Luke Kennard really came in and elevated their stock when they were here, becoming McDonald's All-Americans. I thought Kawhi Leonard was going to be special. When the first time I saw him, a lot of people had him rated a mid-major prospect at that time. And I'm like, there's no way. He's a 95, 96 high-major prospect with those hands and ability to hit shots like we see today. He was doing that in high school, one of California's all-time great scorers.
And he was as humble in high school as he is now.
Yeah, I mean, and there's been great players. You mentioned, you know, Kyrie came in with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. That St. Pat's team was special, with coached by Kevin Boyle. R.J. Barrett, obviously, with Mount Verde. Now Kevin Boyle has the #1 team in the nation down in Florida and Mount Verde, and they're loaded again. But there's been so many great teams and players over the years, it's hard to name a handful of them.
Lehigh definitely ranks as one of the special teams, and Andre Corbello, with his performance today, will go down as a memorable one.
There's no question. I think he goes down as one of the great point guards to play in this event. The way he's played, the digits he's put up has been special. I talked to a lot of people. John Rhodes, he would have to say his favorite player that's ever come through is Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, a lot of people say that about Kenny Anderson. And Danny Ferry, of course.
Danny Ferry. Lebo had some great moments here, but Kenny Anderson's usually everybody's top choice as their favorite player to ever come through the Beach Ball Classic.
This is Jaden Reed, and clock killing time now for Lehigh. Long Island University with the win today will advance to 9-2 on the season. St. Francis will drop to 12-3.
Tell you, Jaden Reed loves to score, man. He's been fun to watch. You love seeing players at that stage as a freshman continue to develop their game, not get caught up in the recognition, get better every year, and he'll continue to grow in size as well as skill set. But Jaden Reed's been impressive for a freshman here.
The rebound for Paul Jordan, the 6'5" junior. He'll be called upon to step up next year in a big way. Cross-court pass and get it under control for Jaden Reed, as Corbello sits on the bench now, as does Zed Key. No chance or no reason to risk injury to these players, as this victory is locked up now for Lehigh. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to Long Island Lutheran, the Crusaders out of Brookville, New York, 3rd place in the Beach Ball Classic, 39th edition in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And a great game it has been. The Long Island Lutheran Crusaders coming in and showing while they are and were the #9 ranked team in the country.
Talented team. John Buck's got to be happy with this squad to bounce back the way they did. They finished runners-up at Iolani Classic. They finished 3rd place champions here today with an outstanding win over a talented St. Francis squad. Andre Corbello, Zeki put on a show.
Well, when Long Island Lutheran returns on January 6th, they'll take back a couple of trophies from Hawaii and now Myrtle Beach. And I guess the students that go to Long Island Lutheran will stand in envy that they've gotten a couple of great vacations out of playing basketball.
And they've racked up some miles on their points, I'm sure. I mean, their travel to Hawaii didn't seem to affect them today. Their 4th game in 5 days, and Corbello is a special point guard that I know Brad Underwood is super excited to get at Illinois.
Stat sheets in her hand, Kevin. What sticks out to you early?
Double-double Zed Key, 26 points, 13 rebounds, dominated inside. Long Island Lutheran scored 50 points in the paint. Corbello, 18 points, 8 assists, 8 steals, 6 rebounds, did it all. Holt was the top performer from St. Francis, the junior, 20 points with 6 rebounds, 8 of 16 shooting. And DeJuan Odom, the Xavier commit, had 13 and 4 for St. Francis.
Third place trophy being presented on the court for the Long Island Lutheran Lehigh team. And a lot of joy for these players. They have come out and put on an excellent performance here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Tyler Watkins, Kevin Schneider, and Kevin's going to roll across the court and see if he can corral head coach John Buck of the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders. Average about 65 points per game, put up 80 today. An excellent performance by Andre Corbello, going to Illinois, and Zed Key, the Ohio State alumni. Can't discount the effort by Jaden Reed, though, as we said, and Traore along with Klasik. This team has just shown their stuff here at the Beach Ball Classic in their second Beach Ball Classic. Got second in 2017, and they picked up third place today here in Myrtle Beach. And Coach Buck is going to send over a couple of his players as Kevin Schneider corrals. Looks like he's grabbing Zed Key and Andre Corbello for a little post-game interview and awarding that HTC Premier Performer Award. Stay tuned following this game. It is the championship game of the Beach Ball Classic here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Dorman out of Columbia, South Carolina will face St. John's out of Washington, D.C. That is a 7:30 p.m. tip time, and we will have the broadcast for you live on Stadium as we get set up cross-court. Kevin Schneider along with the stars of this game, Andre Corbello and Zed Key. Let's throw it over to Kevin. Go ahead, brother.
We're here with the 2 stars from Lehigh in the win. I couldn't pick just one, so I had to take them both. Zed Key headed to Ohio State next year, finished with 26 and 13. You dominated the paint inside. Was that the key to the game and the win today?
Yes, most definitely. You talk about in the locker room, they didn't really have any size, so we just had to punish the paint and get offensive rebounds and just clean up missed shots. So that was the point of emphasis for the game.
I'm sure coming off a loss last night, it felt great to get back. What's it like playing with a point guard like Andre Corbello?
He's very elite. He sees guys in transition. He always makes the right play, gets guys good shots. So I'm very fortunate for me to be playing with him for all these years, and he's one of the greatest point guards out there.
You signed with Ohio State. You have to be super excited to go play for Coach Holtman next season.
Yes, most definitely. Very excited going there in June and just put in work and see where it can take me.
Zed Key, a top rebounder of the event. We're going to pass it off to my man, Andre Corbello. He set a record for assists with 33. It's a Beach Ball Classic record. One of the top performers that we've seen at the point guard spot for many years at the Beach Ball. Talk to us about today's game.
You know, that's what a point guard should be doing out there. You know, they should take their teammates, bring them in every play together. You know, get them shots. You know, whenever they up and get a layup, floaters, shots for themselves. But most definitely their teammates should be first. And you know, when I first got here, that wasn't like my mindset at first. But once I kept going, like after freshman year, sophomore year, I knew we had guys that were able to shoot. So I kind of just took over the point guard position, and you know, started getting guys open shots, layups, and I feel like that's how a point guard should run that position.
After playing in Iolani, playing here at the beach, how will this affect and help you guys finish out the season looking to win another state title?
It helps a lot. You know, we saw a lot of competition out there. You know, we lost to a very good team, Wasatch from Utah. We lost to a very good team yesterday, St. John's. They played together. They brought it at us. So we can't be too confident out there. We just got to be confident enough to go out there and you know, take somebody's heads off like we did today. And you know, just keep playing hard. These tournaments are national tournaments, so that definitely helps a lot. Going back home to those teams, we just got to bring it at them the way that those teams brought it at us.
You're talking about bringing it. I'm sure you saw this morning your future Illini backcourt partner scored 52. What is it going to be like playing alongside him? Coach Underwood was in attendance watching you guys play. You have to be super excited to go play at Illinois next season.
Yes, sir, for sure. Adam Miller is a great kid, can score at any level. I'm really excited to play with him. Also with Coleman Hawkins from Prolific Prep. Two very good guys, very excited. Can't wait to go there. But I got to take care of business in high school first. Coach Underwood, Coach Antigua, the entire coaching staff, great coaches, man. They show a lot of love, and I'm really excited to play with those guys and go to war with them.
Well, let's hear it for these two guys. They put on a show here at the beach. Zed Key, top rebounder, top passer. Big Ten, they're coming your way next season. Lehigh, watch out for them. They finished 3rd place here at the Beach Ball Classic. Back to you guys.
And mark those names down. They'll be future NBAers here at the Beach Ball Classic as Lehigh defeats St. Francis. Final score 80-55 here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic. And just a note real quick, he talked about the record, 33 assists for Corbello. The old record was 29. And Corbello also set the got second in the steals category. He had 20 in the tournament. The record was 24. So he has left his mark on the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. A good one coming up in just a few minutes. We'll tell you about it in a moment. As we return, Long Island Lutheran wins over St. Francis, picking up 3rd place in the Beach Ball Classic. Final score 80-55. Back in a moment from inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. This is the 39th Annual Beach Ball Classic.
There's an amazing place where family vacation memories are made and shared over and over again, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Book your family vacation at visitmyrtlebeach.com and discover amazing values on area accommodations and family-friendly attractions. There's never been a better time to visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where family time has never been so much fun.